Hey all, Machine Washable here, and today we have a Spirit Halloween 2019 animatronic tier list. So if you saw my 2018 tier list video, you know that I'm going through and redoing some of my older tier list videos just so they're more updated and a lot better in my opinion. And different from 2018, I actually love 2019. I did not like 2018 much at all, but 2019 is one of the most... I'd say it's probably the best modern Spirit year. It's close. 2021 is close, but 2019 is really where it's at. So here we got a lot of props. This video may be pretty long. So I think what I'm going to do is make a row below where I'm just going to say not ranking. I think we got all of them. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and start ranking these actual in-store props. There's a lot, and I have a lot of opinions about these, so let's just go ahead and get started. First, Pennywise. He looked incredible. I don't know why he had mouth animation, because that mouth pose, that like mouth shape is so specific. And in the movie, he doesn't talk while trying to do that pose. That's kind of just like his like idle, creepy like face pose. And the fact that they tried to make him like talk was just kind of weird. I love the pop-up animation. I love how he looked. He was really good. His clothes were good quality. He just looked awesome. I'm gonna have to put him in A tier, and I'm saving S tier for like a few props, and you might know who those are if you watch my channel, but we're just gonna put him in A tier. Next, Man's Possessed Friend. If you haven't seen my 2018 video, I think he's pretty cool. His setup is just horrible, so probably B tier. This is all relative to each other, by the way, in my tier list videos. That's why I try to have like an equal kind of mix, just because he was A tier in the last video, but he's B tier now because things are generally better in this video. Next, Sitting Scarecrow. Again, pretty cool, but there's not much going on with him, so probably B tier. Rusty Chainsaw. This guy was very faulty, super faulty. He was crazy. She's so crazy, love her. I really do love this guy though. It's a shame that we didn't really see that much of him, and that a lot of stores had him broken or just like didn't even get him in. But he was so creepy. I loved how he had a jump scare where his chainsaw like rose up and his head was moving back and forth. I think it continues a good theme that kind of generic looking scarecrow props made by Techie are gonna be good. So probably A tier as well. Next we have Jack Straw. Jack Straw is the twin to Demonic Dahlia, who we will talk to in a little bit. I like one more than the other, and you will see in a little bit. But I'm gonna put Jack Straw in A tier. I love his animation. I love his audio. I like how he doesn't have like any audio before he activates. He just goes. And that's what I like about him compared to Dahlia. Although I love Dahlia, but I do like how he just instantly pops up. And I also like that arm animation. I remember one time I was out on a drive with my family and I was just looking out the window and I saw this guy. It was like I saw this guy on someone's front porch, and it wasn't anywhere near Halloween. And I thought I was going insane, and I asked them to go back, and I saw it. It was just so weird. He was in the down position. I was cringing, but it was so crazy. This guy's so cool. Next, we have the Collector. His phrases are very interesting. I think the phrases for this guy are kind of what carries him. He's a generic looking Reaper guy, which, you know, not anything cool about that. But I'm pretty sure this is the first prop that they utilized that kind of bag movement where I think Party Time is who made this guy, along with Betty Sharp in 2022, who had that bag animation where it looks like there's something like moving around in the bag. And I really do love that. I think it looks really realistic, and it's a cool animation. This guy is really creepy, really good prop. Again, this year is really good, so we have lots of A and B tiers. Next, Jumping Spider. I'm just gonna put it in not ranking. You know what I think about him. He's cool. Cerberus, probably not ranking as well. There have been like 8 different years where they were like, guys, he's returning, Cerberus is returning. 2015 is when he released, and then 2016 he returned, and then 2019 they were like, he returned, guys, look. And then like barely any store had him, so I don't know. Question mark, confusing. Next, Crouchy. Infamous Crouchy. He's a cool prop. He's expensive. He doesn't have that much animation. He looks alright. Some people hate him, some people love him. Very, very divisive. Again, with young Crouchy. Young Crouchy was a mistake, but I think Crouchy does well because he's 7 feet and he was on that like 2-foot riser. He was up in the air. He was spooky. He was terrifying. So probably B tier. This was before the super tall props were super oversaturated, especially this year. I cannot believe how many props are like 7 feet. And that's kind of a bad thing. Like if everything is super tall, then nothing is that impressive anymore, if that makes sense. Like everything this year is like 5 feet. So I don't know. Next, Tortured Torso. There was another prop named Tortured Torso a long time ago. And then there's this guy. This guy was just really weird. He looks okay. I don't like that his mustache is like perfectly cut and shaven, even though he's supposed to look like that he's been there for years. Also, constant motion. I don't know if I like constant motion props because they break really fast. I've heard this guy like issues with this guy, like his mechanism frying and then like smoking. So D tier, yeah. First not A or B tier of this video. Next, Cocoon Corpse. This guy is pretty decent. If you know, this guy also returned from 2018, or he was from 2018 and then he returned for 2019. He makes a lot of sense as a hanging prop with that kind of like trying to wiggle out animation. But compared to like all the other 2019 props, I would say he's not as good personally. So I'm just gonna put him in C tier. I think that's a good tier for him. Now we have Sam. Sam, in my opinion, is one of the best licensed characters of all times. He had lots of animation. He moved side to side, and he had that like stabbing. His audio is so good. It's actual movie audio. It doesn't get annoying because a lot of like little kid props or like clown props, they have either like repetitive laughing or like high-pitched voice. I don't know. I love this guy's audio, like the I don't know, with the music. It's so like almost nostalgic. That it sounds weird saying that since it's only like 4 years ago, but really I love his audio. And he came with 2 heads, which is actually kind of crazy. He was 170 or 180, somewhere around there. But he came with 2 heads that were fully sculpted. Well, okay, his main head was just like a foam ball kind of, but his pumpkin head, which I feel like it does not get enough recognition. People don't really talk about that. It's like fully sculpted. It looks good, and they just threw that in there. Like a lot of props would not come with the 2 heads. So this guy's really awesome. I would honestly put him in S tier. Really good prop. I definitely need to see this movie. I feel like every time I talk about licensed props, I'm always like, I haven't seen this movie. But I've heard lots of good things about Trick or Treat. I've heard that it's really funny and there's a lot going on. So I do want to see Trick or Treat. Next, we have this Winter Dragon guy. I don't think anybody has this guy. I don't think anybody cares where I put this. Probably F tier. It's just so boring. Like, I can't even remember the name. Is it Arctic Dragon, Winter Dragon, Snow Dragon, Neon Fly Ride, Frost Dragon, Adopt Me? Like, it's just so nothing. It is nothing. And they really tried to sneak this in here as if it was a new prop, and I can see right through it. So F tier for real. Hugs the Clown. Again, love him or hate him, he is a clown. Probably C tier. Tombstone Ghoul, Tombstone Thing, he was kind of bad. I don't like how much they cheaped out on this guy, because he was the price of like a normal animatronic, and he was a plastic tombstone with like a reindeer motor basically, and like a head, and like the hair got caught in the motor and it would like twist to the side. It looked awful. It was bad. It was not good. It didn't make sense in the theme either. It was on a crate outside of an aquarium, which the aquarium theme was incredible, by the way. But, like, why would there be a tombstone on top of a wooden crate? It just makes no sense. All right, we have so many good props left. Bloodthirsty Betty, incredible, amazing, never seen before. Well, kind of, but I love the whole idea of how much you can kind of pose her, how you can put her on the floor and her head pops up, or you can put her on the wall and her head pops back. So cool. She looks really creepy. Her audio is good. I love that she shakes. She was affordable. She was the only prop I bought this year because I would like do chores for money and I saved, and this was the only prop that I got this year. I'm making sure I'm not lying. Yeah. And this was the only prop I bought this year, and I kind of slightly regret it because you'll see in a little bit, but she stopped working a few years ago, and I was really sad. And Spirit was like, yeah, so we don't actually have any 2019 model, control boxes, so we're just gonna go ahead and send you like a gift card with Spirit Halloween credit so you can just like get something else. And I was like, okay, awesome. And then I got lost in shipping for like 6 months, and usually with their gift cards, they're valid until that Halloween. And what do you know, it arrives randomly at my house like 2 months after Halloween. And so I was like, okay, and it was expired, which is annoying. Sorry, that's like completely unrelated, but it was very upsetting because I could not get my Betty replaced, and then the card that they sent me to like kind of reimburse me for credit was expired. So I kind of am just left with the broken Betty, but I do love her. I do love Betty. She's so creepy, so S tier. That story is unrelated to my actual ranking, but I digress. Next, this is in my top 3 Halloween animatronics of all time. The one and only Queen Demonic Dahlia. She is my favorite from this year. I actually have no idea why I bought Bloodthirsty Betty over Demonic Dahlia. I beat myself up for so many years because I didn't get her. And in 2020, I was like, okay, I'll get her. And then a bunch of cool stuff came out, and I was like, okay, never mind, LOL. But I'm happy to say that if you're watching this, like sometime after this video actually came out, I won Demonic Dahlia on an eBay listing. I paid $340, including shipping and all that. So that's a lot of money, but I'm so happy, and I love Demonic Dahlia, and she's incredible, and she's S tier. She's the best animatronic of this year. She's one of the best animatronics of all time. She's terrifying. I love her animation. I'm gonna stop talking about her, but I love her. Next is Experimental Eddie. Very solid, just like kind of Frankenstein, like electrocution guy. There's a lot going on with this guy. There's a lot of themes that are kind of being played on, like electrician, technician, Frankenstein, mortician, in the kitchen, going fishing, you know, because it's like, get it, because like the doc. But he was actually pretty cool. I know a lot of people like this guy, and I like him too. He's spooky. I love those videos where they plug the wrong adapter into him, and he's like shaking violently. He's funny. He's so cool. We go A tier. Abandoned Annie, super cool tabletop, 3 foot. She was $90 and like 3 feet tall, but I think she's so creepy. She's so spooky. She's terrifying. And I love how they kind of reuse that, like, creepy rising doll-esque, like, mouth opening more than it should, but it's, like, disguised as cracks. I like how they utilized it for this prop. The phrases are pretty good. A tier. Double Trouble, again with 2018. This year has a lot of 2018 props, I realize. 2018, yeah, B tier. She's decent. She's okay. She's alright. They're alright. I don't really have much to say about her. I don't really like their bases. I think they could have been better quality, because their bases are like those crappy, horrible, like plastic, like Sunstar bases kind of, which are not good. Those are bad. Next is Headless Help. He tried to be kind of like old style Jemmy, but he kind of just ended up being really bad. His setup, I'm pretty sure, is really bad. And the animations that they chose for this guy were really questionable. I don't know why the only animations they had him do was the eyes blink and the mouth move. Like, why doesn't he like turn side to side? And he can kind of like swing his head around. I don't know. He could have like, I think it would have been really cool if he moved side to side, lifted his arm up and down, and he talked. I don't think he needed like eye animation. Also, he should have had like actual like real looking eyes instead of just white. Because I don't know how they're gonna make him blink if it's just white. It's weird. This guy was such a missed opportunity. I love like Butler props, but he's kind of mid. I don't know. Waving Wally, super underrated clown. He is a clown and spooky. He's a spooky clown. He's not in your face saying, I'm gonna eat you and kill you and roast you and toast you and kill you. He's not saying all that. He's saying like, his phrases are honestly kind of like just actually creepy. When he says like, come with me, we'll make some new memories you'll never forget, and like the creepy crying sounds, like that's just creepy. This guy is spooky. I got this guy at the after Halloween sale. I think his original retail $230 was kind of a lot just because he has one motor, but he's just such a cool prop. He's so creepy. I do love this guy. A tier. Next, or not next, last we have Mr. Toots the clown. I think this guy was kind of stupid. I think I hate clowns now. F tier. So yeah, this is my Spirit Halloween 2019 animatronic tier list. I love this year so much. I love the themes. I don't know why. I think it's just because of Demonic Dahlia and like the themes. But this year was, I think, pretty awesome. I wish that the animatronics fit in the themes more, because it was a boat and an aquarium, and maybe like 2 of these props fit in the theme. Experimental Eddie, because he was by like the electrician hut. Maybe Waving Wally, because he, like, sometimes there's like clowns on like boardwalks and like entertainers and stuff. I don't know, but for the most part, these props did not fit in the themes, but I liked them as props. This year was really awesome for Spirit. I love Spirit. I'm going to be doing a Spirit Halloween 2010 through 2023 ranking, and this year is going to be really high. Just a warning. So yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Comment y'all's opinions on my tier list in the comments down below, and I'll see y'all later.